What's up, y'all? How you doing? It is your boy, Youre. It is the 22nd of December, 2014. Yes, we are 3 days away from one of the most prolific days of the year. How is everybody doing? Doing alright? How was your weekend? I hope it was peaceful. Of course, sidestep the foolishness and negativity that is just waiting to consume and distract your day. But more importantly, my question to you, are you now speaking your truth? Because it's real important, y'all, that you speak your truth. And to only do that, you've got to be courageous, no matter what the circumstances, for you to have the life that you feel in your heart. You know, that thing, that essence, your spiritual essence, what makes you you. You know, if you want to embrace your life as you envision it to be, you must first be authentic to self first. So, I wanted to put this out before I started my day. With all the activity that's been going on as of late, I know that for some of you, it has kind of put a damper on the holidays. And it seems like it's become more rampant than anything, more bold than anything. It has become downright disrespectful. And I'm here to tell you, you're not crazy. You're not the only one that feels what's going on, because somewhere, somehow, there's people who have lost sense of who they are, and they have let go, and they're allowing the status quo to dictate who they are. But I'm here to tell you once again, you're not the one that is crazy. You know exactly what's going on. But the question should be asked to you is this: are you going to be just like them and go down the path, even though you know that path is not going to end up but just disappointment as usual? You know, you're going through the same thing, trying to put that square block in that circle, and you know in your heart that is not what you need, or nor should you be there. So are you being courageous? Are you speaking your truth? You know, and a lot of times when I've had people write me and say, well, Gerald, you always say, speak your truth, speak your truth, speak your truth. I say that because, do you realize how, well, I'd say 65% of the people you come in contact are not the people who they really are. They walk around with masks on. They put on a show for their audience, but yet go home. You know, they go home ashamed, and they have this mindset of, well, you know what? If I don't join them, I can't beat them. So what does it matter? Well, it does matter, because there's only one you. So once again, you're not crazy. You know exactly what's going on, but you don't have to partake in what is going down. That's right. So that should go out to someone, because I think that was your validation. I feel it in my spirit. But haven't you noticed as of late, you know, it seems like those people that have given up on themselves and embrace the position of being shallow, you know, I call them the Mattel people, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, number one, if the person who they once were is not the person that looks back in the mirror, but unfortunately the person that they're going to become is not going to be the person that also reflects, because there's going to be a price for every time you try to go away from who you really are. See, you know, when God created you, yes, I know him as the grand architect, but I also know that I'm humbled to know he is one of many names. But I also know this: when he gave you the breath of life, when he breathed air in your life and created your existence, he didn't make a mistake. There was no flaws, because they are you. That's why there is only one. I don't care if you come from a set of twins, there's still only one you. That's why you have that DNA code. That's why you feel the way you do. And that's why you see what you see. So, why is it you continue not to love yourself? Huh? Come on now. I told y'all a long time ago, if you constantly watch or use or emulate your life by what you see on the blogs, what you see on TV as gospel, you're cutting your life short. That's why they used to say it's made for TV, because it's not made for life. But, you know, ain't no secret in that. Society wants you, my queens, to play the role of the harlot, the Jezebel, the jump off, the one that is sporadic. She's there everywhere, but she's not there for herself. Only to spend the rest of her life trying to pick up the pieces of the things that she should have done way back when. That's not your walk. That's not your walk. For those who are in a place where they're saying, well, Gerald, you know, I want the ones. I want the one that is going to love me for me. I'm here to tell you, you won't find him on the TV. He won't emulate none of that. And here's another thing. The person that you are, the one you were born to be, that person. Here's the ironic part about it. Some of y'all don't even realize that the person that you morphed into, the person you once were, you were beautiful then. But because you have such a low self-esteem, you attracted people in your life that only wanted to play with your mind. They only wanted to pilferage your body and unfortunately rob you of your finances. That's why when you're going through pitfalls and you have obstacles come along, and no matter how hard you try to shift it around to make things meet, it always hurts. And it's going to continue to hurt, because until you get back to yourself. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The person that brushes the teeth and has those beautiful eyes, that has that heartbeat. You. Until you get back to who you once were, you'll never get to where you're trying to go. You'll see snapshots of what could be, but trust and believe, those have a price. Some of y'all already know that. That's why some of y'all are by yourself. Because you have a position where you've been hurt so much, so deeply, that your position is this: I don't want to have nothing to do with love. Because every time I try to give myself to them, I always get hurt. You know why you're going through that? Because number one, you refuse to take accountability of your life. But yet, you allow someone to live it for you. So of course, they're never going to have your best interests at heart. That's why you end up having to pick your panties up, having to make that drive by yourself, saying, I won't do that no more. Digging in your pocket because you knew you had money when you went, but when you left a little light. Why? Because these people teach you not to do what you're doing. And every time you make a choice to go against the grain, ain't nothing good gonna come out of that. And here's the sad thing about it. Some of y'all know that, but you keep allowing fear. You know what it is. Finally, everything's a reality. And what do? Instead of grounding your feet, you just go with the flow. Well, your life should not be about going with the flow. Your life should be about validation of who you are. I mean, some of y'all have even gotten to the point where you're saying, well, you know what? I'm going to jump over the fence and try to find what I need to find. But don't you realize every time you take it upon yourself to seek love, you don't find it? I tell you that, my queens. You keep going out there looking for Mr. Right, and you're going to only attract Mr. Right now. And after he's done doing what he's going to do with you, you're going to be left picking the pieces up. You don't deserve that. And here's the ironic part of it. Most of y'all, go through that because of two things. You have no support system in your family, so they know that they can get away with murder. What's going to do? Who you going to go tell? They already know that. So they convince you to put everything in them. And what happens? They keep hurting you. They keep lying to you. They keep playing with your head. And that's why you keep crying. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. But, you know what? He won't give you something you can't withstand. But there's a responsibility in that, right? Because we got free will to choose. So if you live in your life by your bra strap, or you guiding your life by your jock strap, how long you gonna be grounded? You're not. How can you look at where you're going when you're on your back? You can't. You're constantly being depleted. You don't deserve that, y'all. So let me turn the page. Haven't you noticed society is so blatant? And they're going to keep doing it until you guys make a point to love yourself and take accountability for who you are. Because no one's going to do it but you. That's why I tell you, my queens, stop believing in fairy tales. Those were only placed there as a child to change the way you think. You want a fairy tale? Live your life. Live your life positively. Because yes, for those that may be thinking, well, hey, Gerald, why are you being so mean? I'm not being mean. I love y'all. So I'm gonna keep it real. Because guess what? When I went through my spiritual storm, I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have someone grab me by the collar and say, hey, look here, let's sit down and let's what's really going on. I had to find out on my own. But I'm glad I did. Because guess what? While I went through my storm, and yes, you can easily go back, that's why it is not good to live your life with pride and ego. Because, as it's always written, pride cometh before the fall. Some of y'all right now are waking up, realizing you've been betrayed the whole time, and you got to put a mask on to get through Christmas. You don't deserve that. I know that resonated because I could feel it. Somebody can feel it right in your throat. You feel it like you just want to break down. You just want to just throw your hands up and give up. But I'm going to tell you something. You turn that energy inside yourself. Take this time to reflect on where you've been, who you allowed access to you. Take accountability of that. But just know, you can have all the money in the world and not know what love is until you learn to love yourself. Because when you truly when you learn to love yourself, you will respect yourself and you will know what having personal boundaries is. But if you want to act like your vagina has, it's going to be there, and my body's going to be there, and I'll just You get through? No, you don't know that, because guess what? We all have an expiration date. You know, that's called your life. But what's more importantly is you're not promised tomorrow. When it's time for you to take your last breath, what is your legacy going to say? Oh, I spent my whole existence on my back. I spent my whole existence being untrustworthy. I spent my whole existence not loving myself. And God forbid if you have children. Come on now. The actions that we do as adults impact those who are to come. You can't blame that on the Father. He's got to do His work. And even if He's not there, He's still got to answer to somebody. That's why you got a conscience. That's why it's there. But some of y'all walk around half dead right now because you've given up on yourself long ago. Haven't you noticed each year should be better than the last? But if you constantly seeing the same events play out, but the people change, it's not the people, it's you. You're not loving yourself. And if you're not loving yourself, how can you respect who you are? What you stand for? What you speak on? Don't do that. But hear what I say when I tell you this. Anybody can change. Because you are able to endure pain, which you should not, does not mean loyalty. It don't. It just means, hey, you willing to take what anybody's going to give you. It's not right. I think that needed to go to somebody. If you turn around, my family, if your associations have no growth potential, why are you there? Why are you there? Why they have access on to you? Because they don't respect you. It's just like having a utility bill. You've got this understanding, well, you know what? As long as you do this, I'll give you that. Does that not sound like everybody's got a price? No, you don't. You're priceless. So let me spin this around. I'm very disappointed that society has gotten to a point where you're so brazen that you spew hate. You talk separatism. You mask it, passive aggressively like it's not hate. Well, where does hate come from? It comes from fear. It's fostered by ignorance. And what's sad about it is a lot of y'all don't even see the truck that's coming down the road to knock you on your butt. You don't deserve that. Come on now. Think about it. If you're in the midst and that's all you're breathing in, then guess what? That's what's found in your heart. I know somebody's saying, well, Gerald, that's not how I feel, but I can't make them do what they do. You're right, you can't. But you can choose where you decide to ground your feet, right? So that's a choice. That's also a snapshot of your mind state too. And I think it's so amazing that haven't you realized they're doing everything they can to whitewash, and I mean that in a term of watering down what Christmas means. What it means. Not what you get. Come on, man. Come on. Heed the word of a brother. You haven't even tapped in to who you are until you decide to tap into yourself. Get you right. If you got to turn around and make a conscious decision to step away from an environment, do it. Do it. It may save your life one day. Because you don't know what's in the heart of men or women. You don't know what's in their mind. You might be in the midst of somebody just waiting to bring you down for the last time. And ain't no getting up. Come on now. I know I sound like I'm ranting. What you see is passion. It's connected to being compassionate. But even with that, you got to make a conscious choice what you're willing to condone. So, guess what? I know that somebody right now, you already know in your mind that before the end of January, you're going to be somewhere else. You actually think that, well, if you pack your bags and slip out in the middle of the night, or how about be extreme? I'm going to go marry this guy right here. I don't know nothing about him, but he's going to make my life right because he's projecting what I want, or he's telling me what I want to hear. That's going to be better than what I am. No. What you realize is, don't you realize that emotional baggage that you've been carrying is going to go wherever you go until you decide to ground your feet, get you right. You know, it's funny because people got a lot of this, but they don't want to tap into this. So since they don't want to tap into this, they can't connect to that. They're afraid of that. They're afraid. They're so afraid. You ask somebody, like I told you, ask some of your closest friends, what's your purpose? I guarantee they won't tell you. They don't know. They don't know because they don't know themselves. They're constantly going around, running around. Who's benefiting off of that? The banks. They're making money off your ignorance. You don't even realize it. So, to my shackle breakers, have courage. People in your life don't want to help you grow because there should be a like-mindedness right there. They should never do anything to disrespect you or make you feel embarrassed to be with them. And if they are, they ain't your friend. They're not. They're actually taking the role of an opportunist, just waiting for you to get tired of them so they can find another victim. Don't do that. But let me let you know this too, y'all. Your higher powers are known as my Lord Jesus Christ. He sees all. He knows all. He is all. And he's omnipotent. And what is done in the dark will come to the light and will be accountable for. That's why I will always believe that those people that are laughing now are going to be crying later. Because sooner or later you're going to have to get back to your life and you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror for where you've been. And only you know what your life stands for. You're not on this planet to suffer, y'all, but you are required to make sound decisions. So, for the person that is in that crossroads, you know, there's somebody right now thinking about, well, you know what? I don't know why I'm with this person. This person, all they've done is lie to me from day one. But I can't leave them alone because the intimacy is so good. They can connect to me. Well, guess what? That's their strong suit. That's their hook. But yet you feel depleted because they can't connect on anything else. That's why they're irresponsible. Why? You're looking at your taskmaster. They're there to teach you the difference between what is a need and what is a want. Now, I know y'all saying, well, Gerald, I hear what you're saying. You all doing all this preaching and stuff. Listen here. I'm not a preacher. I'm a man that eyes have been made open. And I see my work. Oh, I love some Gerald. Love me because I'm a big-hearted guy. But I also know that the responsibility was who I allow access to my life. But trust and know when I tell you this. Every person that has had a way to slip into your life. Now, first of all, you let them come in there, but has had a moment of time. Well, guess what? I keep telling y'all, it's a matter of time in your progression. Prepare, because you will see them again. And the reality of that will let you know crystal clear on what was a need and what was a want. And I'm not making light, because I know some of y'all are really broken right now. Some of y'all are like, the only time you come around is when you want to get off. You know, yeah, that. Or the only time you come around is because you're doing this. What did I tell y'all 6 months ago? I told y'all, prepare, because you're going to have people come back from the dead that you ain't talked to. And they want to see if you've changed. They don't have the courage to come out their mouth. Their actions will do that. How many signs do you need? How many signs? So what I'm getting to you, what I'm trying to say is this. Do not have a vengeful spirit. Do not allow hate in your heart. It is like crabgrass in a lawn. Once you allow it in, it is hard to pull those roots out. And that is nothing but what we know is a stronghold. That's why some of y'all know y'all got connections with some people that you just can't shake, because they figured you out. They know what you lack, and they use it as a weapon to keep you shackled. Some of y'all feel like y'all just emotional slaves. Like, only time I come around is because you want me to do this, do that. But you know in your heart that they don't respect you. But they don't have the courage to tell the truth. But you go along with it. Why? Some of y'all are having epiphanies right now. You're waking up and you turned around and did the most unthinkable thing. You turned around and said, well, he made a mistake on the way he made you. And you decided to allow somebody with man's hands to sculpt you into an image. Haven't you noticed those same images look the same? It just comes in different shades and colors. But guess what? It's all fostered in shallowness. Because as you progress, as you get older, your body will claim itself again. It will. Your DNA knows what to do and how to do it. And it's going to rebel against you. I don't wish that bad on nobody, because I know some of y'all are going through that right now. Some of y'all have made choices medically, and you realize you're going to have to deal with the reality of making choices that you shouldn't. It's my queen. Hear this. The man that is going to make you truly happy will not be able to validate that until you make yourself happy first. Did you hear what I'm saying? He validates it. He does not complete you. No one can complete someone else. So that means you got to go inside. You're walking around with this backpack called emotional baggage, and y'all done some heinous stuff. You know what? Does it surprise you that it's come back? And it's going to keep coming back until you ask for forgiveness. That's the only way you can free yourself. You want to exhale? You know how they said the movie, she exhaled? You know why she exhaled? Because she was finally at peace with herself. There's only one way to find peace. You can't find that. You'll never find that in the stores. Your self-worth cannot be bought. Your self-respect cannot be custom made. Well, it's custom tailored because you had that when you were born. That gift was priceless because you were given that. You were given life. But guess what? Haven't you realized no amount of money will make you feel whole? That's why it's called a stolen moment. And what happens when you choose to embrace stolen moments? You're stealing from yourself because you're not where you should be or need to be. You're settling. You're settling. You're settling. So to my queens, just know this. Your greatest crown comes from inside. Yes. Can't buy that. The beauty shop will sustain whatever comes through the door, what you project. But the beauty supply store don't care. It will constantly sell you dreams. You be the dream. For some of you that have been holding on to pain for so long, you think actually that makes you strong, but actually that makes you weak. Because those baggages that you got, yeah, some of y'all got that commando style knapsacks and stuff. And I'm not making light of that, but what I'm trying to get you to see is this. Each burden requires accountability. When you decide to look at it, speak on it. The more you speak on it, it takes the relevancy away. And you finally can free yourself from that pain. Some of y'all are still connected to people that have done you wrong. Emotionally, you're doing time in your mind. Well, on the flip side, I'll say this. This is something I also know. You see, God has a way of bringing people in your life. Yeah. We know them as soulmates. And He brings the other ones. He allows the other ones to come. Those are your soul ties. But there are certain people that come into your life that will only show you what unconditional love is. And it's funny about it because you guys smile, you guys laugh about it because you think, well, you know what? He weak. He nice. He care. But he born. And what do? You run on over there to that dude that treats you like garbage, leave you all swole up and sore, and he laugh about it because you're going to come back. Because he knows he got your mind. And everybody knows. Even the pimps know. Any fool can have a woman's body. But a man, depending on where he is, once he has her mind, he can have the rest anytime. So that's where that boundary comes into play. Because where the head falls, the body flows. So, you're going to constantly accept the role of the kept woman. How about the night walker? Yeah, you know, ripping around and ain't got nowhere to go. Always broke. When you gonna put respect first? And for those people that say, well, Gerald, I hear what you're saying. I done been there. I realize what has happened. I own my actions. You ain't owned them yet. That's why you keep going through what you're going through. Feel like you in quicksand. Like you're marking time. You can't get forward. You can see it, but you can't get there. Why? Because you ain't taking accountability of your life. And no, my queens, I'm not singling you out. Because guess what? My kings, look here. You got that last name for a reason. And you hold the responsibility of legacy. Everybody assigned with your last name, your lineage. It's your responsibility that they are upright. So you got to set the precedence. You got to set the example of what's right, not what's not. Now I know I had a letter for somebody. I'm gonna wrap this up. And this guy, peace, my brother. You was concerned. You said, well, you know, you've got a family, and you guys are not together. And you said you want to be there for your children, but your connection with their mother is very toxic. and you're tired of holding the olive branch because all she does is disappoint you. For those people that are in that situation where all you want to do is be in your children's life, let me tell you something. There's a blessing in everything. The blessing is you. You take this time to get you right. Okay? Get you right, because your time is going to come. And I say that because every child goes through a period where they want to know what makes them them. And if you're in a situation where the child is being used as a weapon, well, guess what? Unfortunately, that child will get to a point where they will rebel. And what they feel is a connection, they're going to want to validate it. So make sure that when that time comes, because it will come, that you're prepared and you can represent as their father. If you do not, well, guess what? You just validated everything that they have been teaching them while you were apart. Do not worry about what she's doing and who she has in her life. That is her business. Okay? So you got to get past that. If you ain't past that, well, who's she sleeping with? Just know this. Before there was a we, there was a you. So you're going to do what you're going to do. Just make sure you're grown enough to accept what comes with it. And trust and believe when I tell you this. The more and more you tap into yourself, the more and more you focus on yourself, you're going to get validation from that as well. What is going to happen is you will see why you are not supposed to be with that person. You do understand that. That's why breakups exist. That's why doors close. But even when doors close, don't mean they're locked. That's why you constantly see this person in your life. That's what synchronicity does. Synchronicity is divinely done. And you will be positioned to see what you need to see and hear what you need to hear. So you get the validation of, that's why I'm not with you. Thank goodness. Even in pain. But we all have free will. And don't you realize something, my kings? Until she gets right, because she picked you, she's gonna be in the wilderness. And what happens when you're in the wilderness? You get tripped up, you get stung up, you feel like you're alone. Well, it's very important, y'all. The moment you make a connection with your higher power, I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ, but I am humbled to know he's one of many names. Until you make that connection, because guess what? He was there the whole time, but it is not his responsibility for him to seek you. He created you first. So it's your responsibility to have that relationship with him. And when you do, you will open up a spiritual door about yourself. Y'all ain't even started to live yet. You won't live right. You're not even going to live into your purpose until you have a connection with him. I don't care if you're 350 pounds, muscle rocked up, pocket full of money. Doesn't matter. Because until you know who you are, all that can be taken away. And guess what? I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. The things that were given, that were not earned, you can't hold on to it. And the more that you try to, the more frustration comes, to the point that you feel it in your body. Your body's acting up now. Why is that? It's because your body's trying to tell you to slow down. My queens, there's no future in being the secret lover, the kept woman, or condoning behaviors made by debauchery. Every time you do that, you just said to yourself, I'm going to take this burden of pain. Because whatever karmatic connection that you have with that person, because guess what? Every time you give your body to someone that don't love themselves, you inherit their burden. That's why it burns. Sometimes it manifests in an STD. Sometimes you don't get a second chance. So what I'm saying to you, my family, is this. Make this Christmas be blessed. Make a conscious choice that you deserve to be happy, and you're going to go and do what you need to do to ensure that it is possible. But make sure whatever you decide to do, you are able to go to sleep at night with peace of mind. The only way you're going to have peace of mind is you have a connection with Him. He is waiting on you. He's waiting on you. Because your life is not meant to be a mistake. It's not meant to be in misery. It's not meant to be another. See, with somebody right now crying, I can feel it. You got that. You got all that energy in your throat right now. You're trying to keep it down. You're trying to keep it down because you know that you're just that close from having a nervous breakdown. Well, guess what, baby? For you guys that think that if I embrace my emotions, I'm weak. Do you realize that the moment that you claim you, that means you don't even know who you are until you embrace your emotional self. Your emotional self is connected to your spiritual self, but is navigated through your discernment. Real recognizes real, and that is why the shallow, the deceptive, the evil, right now they seem like they're winning, but they're not. Little do they know they've already put a mark on when their existence is going to come to an end. They don't even see it yet. You got to remember, y'all, that devil, he's like that lion, the lion in the brush. He's just waiting. He's just waiting to rob, kill, and destroy your life. That's why he keeps bringing those same people in your life. The only thing changed is the body, but the behavior gets worse. And you know it because they disrespect you every chance they get. They laughing at you. And ain't nothing worse than someone taking your body and your money. Come on, man. But yet, what do y'all do? All men are dogs. No, they're not. You don't know all men. But you're not taking accountability for the men that you allow in your life. So my queens, to get off this rant, I want you to know this. I love you. But it is required that you love yourself. And when you constantly make a decision to love yourself, you will know what your self-worth is about. It's going to be a road. It's going to be a journey to find who you are. But step into it, because guess what? The person that you're destined to be is waiting on you. They're looking back in time saying, I'm glad he made that choice. I'm glad I made that choice when I did. I'm glad I walked away from that person. They were no good for me anyway. I'm glad that I was courageous to step back from that family member, because every time I'm with them, they hurt me so. Come on now. Misery loves company. And ignorance is not bliss. Love yourself, y'all. Love yourself. Because you know what? What? Just to paraphrase, evil begets evil. So if you got a hateful spirit, you're going to attract that. You're going to attract that. So have courage. Start loving yourself. Start respecting yourself. And if you're in the midst of an environment that makes you feel uneasy, look at the writing on the wall. Somebody right now, you know what's messed up? And I'm going to shut this down. Somebody getting a brand new ride, and from the Joneses, the people from the cheap seats, like, oh man, you got it going on. But deep down inside, you know, you're like, if you only knew what I had to go through to get this. If you only knew what sacrifices I made. Stop making sacrifices and start claiming your life and do it yourself. Because until you're able to stand on your own feet, you can't even walk into your destiny. It'll be blocked. So come on now, so make that change, make that choice. You can do it. You can do it. Well, I love each and every one of y'all. But if you don't, it's time that you believe it in yourself and do the work. So, it's Christmas time. It's coming. Make sure on that day you not forget what it represents. Because as you know, the way we're going, they're going to try to work it so that there is no talk about what it represents. Can't let them do that, y'all. Christmas is more than retail. It exemplifies who you are. And you're priceless. So claim you, y'all. Alright, guys. You have a blessed week. A blessed Merry Christmas. And for those who might be going through something right now, because I also know the holidays can be a somber time, just know you hold on to what you're doing. You keep your head up, but you give your prayers to Him, and He will show you. He'll show you the things you need to see and direct you where you need to go. Just have the courage to step forward. Claim you. As I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. See, some of y'all don't even realize, and some of y'all do, that y'all have already made a decision that next year, whatever you're doing right now, you're going to do everything in your power to have nothing to do with it. That goes with all associations. But make sure it's positive, because God's got your best interest. You stay blessed, guys, and have a blessed Christmas. And once again, before I go, if you're going through something, you need some sound advice or a prayer, hit me below. I'm also on Google+. And as always, it keeps me humble, because I'm just like you. And you deserve to have the life intended, because your life matters. So bless y'all. Bye.